But when you wonder, why is it that Moulton would come out and make such a statement? Well, there's two reasons he made that statement. The first one is because he's running for the U.S. Senate against Markey, and he is also not actually giving up on Israel. And here's what we mean by that.
You announced on Thursday that you're no longer going to accept donations from AIPAC. And I'm wondering if you can tell us more about your thinking and how you got to that decision. Was it a response to the base and the fact that recent polling has shown that Democrats do not support what has happened in Gaza and that they've pulled away from support for Israel? Or is it just that you yourself have seen the images of what's transpired in this war and that it's reshaped the way you see the United States relationship to Israel?
Look, the United States relationship to Israel is incredibly important, but I strongly disagree with the current Israeli government under Bibi Netanyahu. And I've been very outspoken about this for quite some time. I mean, in fact, I wrote an op-ed just after October 7th, right after those heinous attacks, saying that Bibi Netanyahu needs to have a political plan for the future for Palestinians and for Israelis to live.
Yeah, this shift, it's I want to see the memo that went out that was like, well, we can't defend this genocide very well any longer.
Well, you know, Jen, you even said that when
apartheid, racist, genocidal state, then we can just say that'll solve everything. Get Netanyahu out of office. And
it's just Netanyahu. Well, Bernie does that. Bernie loves to blame Netanyahu.
I have been saying, I said on Tim Dillon the other day that Netanyahu is a tyrant, and he is the reason why we can't have nice things in this country. And if we just got rid of him, all the problems would go away. But that's not true, Bernie. All the problems would not go away. And as you've pointed out, one of the things that we discovered when Jen ran against Wasserman Schultz is that she was very open about her criminality in terms of the payday lenders, in terms of the private prison lobby, in terms of Big Sugar. And once all of those things came to the surface, we're not even talking about Israel. She's never going to run away from standing side by side with Milikowski. However, once it became clear that it was politically untenable to just be seen wide in just full view of the public, that you take all of this horrifically bad corporate money, they just started getting it directly through their attorneys. The law firms just started funding it left and right. Yeah. And so Moulton's going to say, hey, I'm not taking any Israel lobby money. I'm taking a hell of a lot more attorney money. And they're taking the Israel lobby money.
Right.
What's happening?
They launder it. They actually launder it. But I would just say that it's more important to point out, and I've said this before about AOC Pelosi. It's like, you not taking AIPAC money doesn't mean shit if you're still sending money to Israel. So what you're doing is the same. You're just doing it for free. So that actually just makes you a dumb whore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be getting paid for what you're doing, and you're doing it anyway. That's what this guy's offering up. He's not going to change any policy things. He's just, and maybe he has enough money from other people that he doesn't particularly need the AIPAC money. But this is by no means some sort of like morality thing.
And
no. Definitely not. If he the number of times he said Netanyahu in that little clip, if they're pointing everything on Netanyahu, then it's clearly not like an ethical morality thing. It's just, we've learned, the propaganda term that is going to do well for us is we don't agree with Netanyahu, but we're apparently fine with everything else genocidal that Israel has done. It really is ridiculous. And then, a lot of people have focused on AIPAC. There are other Israel lobbying groups out there, and I don't know that anyone even pays much attention to them. I don't know if people look into how much NORPAC funds these people.
DMFI is a really big one too. And yeah, people don't look. So then, exactly. So he'll stop taking AIPAC money, but he'll take DMFI money or Kufi money or whatever, other thing. So exactly.
And of all the senators you're going to go after, you go after Ed Markey. He's one of the least offensive senators in all of the U.S. Congress.
Low bar, Peter. Low bar.
In fact, I think Elizabeth Warren is more offensive than Ed Markey, but that's my opinion. Anywho, we will continue.
peacefully side by side. He still doesn't have that plan. So after months and months of pressuring the Israeli government, pressuring AIPAC itself to not just follow the Israeli government, I finally decided that I just cannot accept contributions from an organization whose mission is to support the current government in Israel.
Congressman, but let me just follow up on that really quickly. How do you reconcile rejecting AIPAC money but still voting for the same policies that AIPAC is advocating for? You have continuously supported sending offensive weapons.
Not true. I've frequently disagreed with AIPAC. I mean,
I know you disagreed with AIPAC,
with them over the
but you have been voting for.
Wait, slow down.
I know, but I didn't finish my question. I was saying you voted for sending. You
can tell how pissed off he is right now. I don't on MS.
I can't believe this guy's pushing back on MSNBC.
Well, this is Ayman Lee. Is that how you say his name? Or
I actually don't know that guy.
Yeah, so it's like Ayman. He's a Muslim, so he's one of the very few people
after MSNBC fired all their Muslims after October 7th.
One person that they actually kept around as their token, I guess.
Maybe not after this interview.
No, come on, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But yeah, this is making the rounds now. And so Moulton's got this look of these, if he could kill. And this is the question I wish he would ask. No one's going to ask. He's like, let's just get rid of, Milikowski. Would you like Ben-Gvir to be in charge? How about Smotrich? How about him? Would he be a better prime minister? Because I guarantee
they'd all be amazing.
Yeah, they'd be even worse. Yeah. So Ayman is Egyptian. And you listen, good for him pushing back. So let's see how he finishes it up.
Weapons to Israel, which is something AIPAC has advocated for.
Okay, so sure, there are some votes that we'll agree on, but the important point.
What votes? What votes? Everything.
You either do or do not support the Zio hellscape.
Well, he's trying to walk such an impossible line because he was thinking he'd just say it's Netanyahu and he'd get out and be done with the question. But now it's like, but you vote for everything pro-Israel, and he can't say no, I don't.
Nope.
Because he has a lot of Israel backers that support him, and he doesn't want to alienate them. So he's trying to say, I don't like Netanyahu, but I vote for everything Israel does. Yeah.
These are not serious people. Like the dance that he just did there, it was reminding me of I forget the movie, Entrapment, I think, with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones, and she had to crawl through this thing of red lasers and not touch anything.
All of that was just to put her in a cat suit, I think.
Yeah. Maybe, but she looked great in that movie. But but that's what he was doing, the oral equivalent of trying to thread that, get through that. It can't work. It doesn't work because it doesn't work.
And I don't think it's going to change. I don't see a scenario here where, the electoral cycle now is not, again, we know what corporate media is going to do. We know what MSDNC, we know what CNN and Fox News are going to do. CNN, we were just talking about Dana Bash the other day. It's like they're going through central casting right now because they know that the Ellisons are about to buy them out, and they want to make sure that they're
about to be under the Ellison name.
They're all auditioning. They're all auditioning hard.
And now it makes perfect sense why Bill Maher is such a Zion Nazi, because he's auditioning because they just bought HBO, or they're about to buy HBO.
They're on the cusp, yeah.
So it all makes sense. And in the end, I don't see how there isn't this sort of revolutionary circumstance that is coming to this country. I just think it's inevitable at this point because no one trusts this government anymore. Who the hell does, other than the shit libs that just marched in DC the other day and got offended anytime they saw a Palestine flag? Those are the only people left. That's all that's left.